And a very warm welcome back to WCS Europe Premier League Season 2 Grand Finals weekend. Two of our quarterfinals down. Our third one is on its way momentarily. But before we get there, just a quick update. Golden is absolutely fine. I don't know whether you saw what happened, but he's just feeling a bit rough after that one. He was just absolutely hyped after his game, but he's absolutely fine and he's resting in the back area. So thankfully, everything is good with him. We'll see him in our semi-finals tomorrow. We also have a little competition running for you today. We haven't announced it just yet, so I'm going to do that right now. Good chance for me to drop something right now, but I'm hoping that doesn't happen. That's an old meme if you're new to the scene. I have, right in my hands right now, a whole pack, a complete set of the WCS cards. These were only given away at BlizzCon last year. We've sneaked a few from the good folk at Blizzard now, and we're going to give you the chance at home and here in the audience to win a complete set of these cards. TLO is in them.
I am.
He is in them. But to win them, all you've got to do is tweet your best picture of a new WCS card. So if someone isn't on these cards and you think they should be, I don't know, could be golden, for instance, then do your best artwork, submit it via #WCS, mention at StarCraft as well, and we'll have a look through the hashtags throughout the day at the very best ones. We might even show some of them a little bit later on in the show. And you could win yourself a complete deck of the very limited WCS cards. It also includes the very rare parting card in there as well as the very sexy TLO card. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, you right?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Good, bad, ugly? How'd you put that down as a great 5-mapper ZVZ?
I think it was all right.
It was all right? What do we have to do to impress you, TLO?
Well, I was a little bit disappointed by the last two series. Vortex could have done a little bit more there. He played great, but then, you know, I think he got a little bit nervous and didn't execute the things he did. When
he went 2-1 up, you kind of thought, hey, we might get a foreigner into the semis here.
But I'm not too biased. Golden is a great guy, and I think we can be pretty happy for him to advance also. And don't want to take away from him either, I think.
Yeah, he was absolutely thrilled after the game. Just what a turnaround for him as well. When you look at what he's been through, he tried to, challenger in career, which is not terrible, but it's not Premier League. Didn't even qualify for WCS America, and then comes to Europe. I mean, I don't want to be mean here, but he's steamrollered through to the semi-final.
Europe, truly the land of opportunities.
Freedom everywhere, except it was yesterday for someone else, not for today. We're going to move on to our third game now, which also features what is now the last European hope. Ooh, that's a shame, isn't it? One left.
Oh, that is true, but we still have great players anyway, and there's going to be a Season 3, and I feel there's going to be a few names back then that you're missing right now.
Yeah, okay. That's for another day. Today, though, we're going to concentrate on match number 3 of our quarterfinal. Let's check in with the way to that round of 8 with Welmu.
If we look at how the group has gone so far and look at how ForGG was playing against his previous Zerg opponent, Mr. Snoot, the way he did that was really, really impressive.
Since in Brood War StarCraft, I like attack style.
Those Stalkers blinking back quite ferociously, trying to keep themselves alive. But against this firepower here from ForGG, he's trading great.
ForGG doubling Harson's supply here. At one point, it looked like Harson could hold the, blinking forward, sniping off of those Vikings, but ForGG just wrapped around him. He had so much more. The last Colossi does fall.
Welmu's one of the best Protoss players there is right now in Europe.
I like to be aggressive, and also I have some good timings and a pretty good macro.
Quite a bit of damage over at the 4th as well. Oh, strays a little bit forwards though. He's going to take a lot of splash damage to that. EMPs land on some of those Archons at the front, but that entire army of Yoda is getting his claw side before the Vikings can really do their job.
And of course, I should have said, and ForGG, but I didn't. ForGG and Welmu's roads from the round of 16 to the round of 8. You can see the two players just warming up and getting ready. We'll start with ForGG. We all know about his TVT. It's legendary now. I mean, the guy is just ridiculous. 71% career record in TVTs. Yeah. Unfortunately for him, there aren't any more Terrans left.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate for him. And TVP, a little bit more difficult for him.
Yes, by far and away his worst matchup. Whether you want to talk about statistics or whether you want to watch him play particular matches, it's always been his bogey race.
As I said earlier, I'm not the biggest fan on statistics on StarCraft 2 sometimes, so I try not to read too much into it, because the statistics don't tell you the individual stories of the matchups between two players, and I think that's much more important. But sadly, we often don't have the sample size for anything to be going on there.
It's actually a bit difficult. I mean, you look at his record in WCS, for instance. He's played 28, won 15, lost 13. He's 13 and 12, won, lost versus Protoss. Doesn't really tell us much.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It's very average in terms of results. But we know that on some occasions, he has played some terrific TVP. On other occasions, frankly, he's looked worse than me. So I don't understand.
Well, I don't believe that. But Protoss matchups have the tendency to be much more volatile than the other matchups. Where, you know, StarCraft 2 can snowball so hard if your build order doesn't quite fit, or if you make an early mistake against Protoss, or Protoss doesn't have the right build order and makes an early mistake, you suddenly look like a fool.
Yeah. When
in reality it was just a small mistake in the nature of the matchup.
Exactly. Great point, Dario, because that is the point, isn't it, in this matchup? You can be made to look like an idiot. It's happened to me a lot, obviously, but it can happen to anyone at this level. So, yeah, we're going to have to wait and see how he matches up. His stats don't particularly stack up, and his Season 1 finish definitely doesn't stack up. 25th to 32nd last season. But let's not forget who this guy is. He is more than capable of reaching top 8 every time. He's done it at DreamHack. He's done it here at WCS before Season 1. He was actually in the semi-finals last year in Season 1. So we know he's got the ability and the temperament to get through these rounds, but the last surviving Terran against the last surviving foreigner, I don't know whether we should be happy or sad either way here.
Well, let's say it like that. At least one of them is going to go through.
That's a good way of looking at it, a very good way of looking at it. Let's take a look at the last remaining foreigner now, Welmu. A man, I mean, this man has absolutely thrilled me with the way he plays. I know I'm not the biggest Protoss fan, but the way he plays Protoss is really inventive sometimes. It's very sexy sometimes, and it's really aggressive sometimes. He seems to be able to do it all. And what he's done is he's come from nowhere. I mean, when we talk about Season 1...
Finland is not that bad.
It's not that far away. But Season 1 last year, struggled through qualifiers, couldn't get into Challenger. Then he got into qualifiers, got through them, then he got into Challenger. And since then, he has been an absolute mainstay. You look through his record right now, 5th, 6th Season 2 last year, round of 16 Season 3, round of 8 this season. Only Vortex has a better record from a European.
Well, I mean, you said it all, basically. You're going to have big hopes for him.
Yeah, I mean, how much pressure is on him right now? You've been there, you've been the foreign hope.
Welmu strikes me as a very chill guy. He doesn't get too excited. So I think that really favors him. He's just going to carry it home.
Yeah, I mean, his PVT doesn't stand out particularly in any of the matches that he's done, but I know that he's actually been playing with Bunny, your teammate, and he's been practicing with him, other than one map, which I'm not going to reveal just yet in case they can hear us, because I don't want to give away any map veto issues. But basically, they've been playing pretty much everything. And Welmu thinks he's got ForGG's number. I mean, when we talk about match styles and how they play, is it fair to say that we know how ForGG's going to play?
ForGG is one of the players that has literally one of the most games played in Europe. So there's a huge database of his games that all of us have. And practicing with Bunny, first of all, big shout out to him, because I think he makes the European scene better, because he's one of the people who actually practice a lot and are always open for practice. So I think that's going to help Welmu a lot, because Bunny, I don't think there's anybody who is below the level of ForGG.
No, I mean, between you and I, and we'll try and keep this quiet because the players are over there, Welmu thinks Bunny's better.
I wouldn't argue against that.
I didn't think I would get much of an argument from you. In terms of their experience now, because Welmu's no longer the new kid on the block anymore. He's done a good few seasons at WCS, but he hasn't quite made the end product. He's reached round of 8 before. He was very disappointing before when he reached round of 8, and he said so himself. He was very disappointed in himself. What do you think he's done in the meantime to kind of bulk up, if you like, and strengthen that resolve and make sure he doesn't make the same mistakes?
I mean, hopefully, he practiced a lot.
He did practice a lot, that's for sure.
And practicing with Bunny especially, you know, it's the right choice. If you want to practice with anybody, if you want to face against ForGG, Bunny's the right guy.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, the map vetoes are moments away. I can see the players getting ready with our admin, Graham. So they're in the middle. I don't know what they're chatting about right now, but He's in good spirits, isn't he, Welmu? He's very happy. He seems to have got over his illness again, which is great. I know he suffers a little bit with that.
Yeah.
And it's always been a bit of a pain for him as well. And he's also still studying, which, you know, when Vortex says, I've got too much study, blah, blah, this guy's got the same issue.
Well, the Finnish education system is one of the best out there, and they give people a lot of freedom to, you know, do other things. So I think sometimes actually studying could benefit a person. Rather than, it's very hard to organize and discipline yourself to practice. But if you do something else than programming on the side, it structures your day a little bit more. And there's definitely types of people that are going to do better than if they would be left on their own and being their own boss and only playing StarCraft.
Does that come with experience as well? I mean, you've been doing this for what, 7, 8 years now?
Well, for 4 years.
4 years in StarCraft, but longer than I know you from Supreme Commander. Come on, you've been around for a while.
I was not quite a programmer then, I would say. But it's hard. It's one of the hardest things as a programmer, is, especially if you live by yourself, to be consistent in what you're doing right. And I struggle with that, and a lot of programmers, especially outside of Korea, struggle with that. And you know, it's going to dictate who's going to be the best foreigner or not.
You've had some coaching from that as well to help you, and I know that's helped you tremendously. Why don't you recommend some of that to some of the other guys?
It helps to have a network of people that you reach out to that help you, rather than trying to be on your own. And I think sometimes it helps to know a lot of people outside of programming, because we have the tendency of sometimes being too entitled and saying, oh, our job is so hard and this is bad about programming and I don't like this. But if you know the struggles of people outside of being a professional gamer, which is, to be fair, quite a good job, it helps to get back on the ground a little bit.
That's a good point, well made. Right, maps are almost done. Habitation and Way Station removed. And we're going to have Overgrowth as our first map. So nothing major sticks out there.
Once again, Overgrowth, the most generic map in the map pool. Yeah. First map, just want to get rid of it.
Always. We have some actual statistics actually on the maps. Overgrowth played 39 times before this weekend and right across the board. But we did pick up something. 9-5 PVZ. 9-5 winners. I mean, the Zergs have got to get smarter, Dario.
Well, once again, I think it's more about individual stats here. We need to look at which Protoss played against which Zerg.
I hate you. You're ditching on all of the stats, Dario. This is not right. Well, 93% of the time, you don't like stats.
No, I like stats that mean something. And I'm not long enough in front of the camera yet to just make everything up.
Really? Oh, I just did. 87% of all statistics are made up on the spot. Isn't that right, Dario? He's a Monty Python fan too, look it up. We are almost ready for our third quarterfinal. Can the last foreign hope possibly stay in the competition? Or is it going to be the last Terran hope staying in? Let's find out with your commentators.
Welcome back to the commentary desk. I'm once again joined by Todd, professional gamer from XMG, and also WCS caster. And we have a very good game coming your way. The last remaining European in the tournament, going up against a player who has failed to deliver to a lot of his fans season after season after season, but has another chance to do that today.
When the expectations are very high for a player, and then he goes far and loses, yeah, I guess we hear that a lot. But what's your personal opinion on it?
I think ForGG should be getting better than the round of 32, which he did last season.
Okay, I will agree with that one. But like,
that's a very, very easy answer if you just pick up just last season. But overall, I do believe that ForGG should be getting better results than he does currently. Overall, just not last season.
From his general skill and level of play, would you say he's a favorite against Welmu?
I wouldn't say he's a favorite here, but in his good days, he should be winning tournaments. Like, there's definitely times in tournaments and in different parts of tournaments where we see ForGG and he's just, you know, amazing sometimes. You know, no mistakes, perfect play. And that type of player, I absolutely think is the favorite. But nowadays, you know, I wouldn't say so against Welmu.
It's funny how these two players match up against each other. Like, we have Welmu, who loves aggressive builds. Like, he loves to throw in an all-in here and there. I feel like a lot less than before, though. Like, he's very capable of taking a third base, going to double Forge very often, sometimes not going for Forges at all and doing a two-base timing with lots of Colossus and Blink Stalkers. And he's up against a ForGG who doesn't want to go to the late game. So when two players who don't like to go into the late game clash, what happens? Well, they're going to be fighting the entire time and try to outdo each other from the very beginning of the game. And I feel like I would give a slight hit to ForGG in that regards, but The thing is, Welmu is a lot more unpredictable than ForGG, and Welmu knows exactly how ForGG likes to play.
Yeah.
He knows that he likes to play without ghosts. So if he has adapted his style to this and opens with like some Colossus, some Blinkstalkers, and then goes into Templars and just defends very well, I feel like Welmu's going to have a good shot at winning here.
I think you kind of nailed it in how this series should play out. Is ForGG is going to be the guy like, I need to find out what this crazy little Finnish Protoss player is going to do against me to try and beat me. And if I can, then I think ForGG will be feeling comfortable. But what has Welmu practiced over the last couple of weeks in an attempt to make it to the top 4 here within the Premier League? We will find out right here, right now, as game number 1 and Overgrowth is ready, is up here to the top right as the blue Protoss player playing for Team Neurosoft. It's the Prodars player. I'm not going to go for 40 seconds. I was hoping that I wouldn't have to go this long, but I'm going to have to wait for 30 seconds.
It's funny, they're actually taunting each other in the chat.
Yeah. 4GG's asking him to cheese him already, and he says,
come cheese.
Yes, I will.
And Welmu said, come, we will survive. Whatever that, why we will survive?
I don't know.
He's like a British, he's saying we instead. He's saying us instead of I.
Us. Follow me. Okay, so there was a little bit of a technical difficulty there, but we will be jumping into this in just 5 seconds as an error happened with one of the observing PCs, but we should be back into this immediately so the series can continue on. So I can get back to my introduction, hopefully, of this player.
I wonder how many maps Welmu is going to do a special build on. You know, last time that he played, I think it was against Yoda, he did the Blink Stalker play on King Sejong Station, and it's always nice in a best of 3 to have one special build that you can do. In a best of 5, you can go up to, say, like 2 or 3 special builds, depending on maps that you could go for. So now going up against ForGG in best of 5 here, there is a chance we might see like specific builds, something like Blinkstalker all in, Colossus plus Blinkstalker all in. I don't think it would be anything else though. Like I don't think that Welmu is the type to proxy target Genius style or anything like that.
Well, I mean, what do you think the key strengths for 4GG are in winning this series then?
Well, I mean, his key strength is obviously what he's most known for. His solid macro, just being able to continuously make units while pressuring, which is kind of his weakness as well at the same time. Like, he always knows when and where to keep on pressuring while adding on more units, and then he already plans ahead which timings he's going to go for exactly before Protoss can reach Storm. Like, he reads his opponent very well, as much as he reads what he needs to do himself.
All right, so the problem was not resolved as we thought it would be, so we are going to have to remake the game. So thanks for bearing with us.
Hiccups.
This is, yeah, just hiccups, just speed bumps on the way to the end of the finish line. So thanks for bearing with us. Of course, this is the 3rd out of the 4th game today. And we will have one extra Protoss versus Protoss, just a special extra game for you after the 4th quarterfinal.
Which you're going to be observing?
I am absolutely. I am pumped to get my observing skills underway. Unfortunately, if you didn't know already, Funker couldn't catch a train, apparently. He failed at catching a train. Then he tried to get the second train, which was meant to arrive on time, which then was delayed.
Maybe he observed the train
He observed the train departing without actually getting on it. Therefore, Kalaris has been our dedicated observer all day, which is why you haven't seen him yet. He's been put away in the box in the cage somewhere in this building. I'm not too sure where.
How do you think he's doing?
Yeah, he's doing okay. I think he's doing okay, actually.
He has a lot of experience. There's a lot of pressure on his shoulders. Skylar, don't you miss a thing.
Don't you miss a drop, man. I've seen you miss a couple of Zerglin run-bys already today.
No pressure.
No pressure. Don't you miss no drops. The whole world is watching your observing right now, so don't mess up. We're watching you. All right, let's try that again, shall we? Up here to the top right as the red Protoss player. Not gonna disconnect this time. From Team Neurosoft, it's Welmu. I heard like moo 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 in the crowd. You know what we need is, the football horns? Like the
vuvuzelas?
Yeah, those things. We need that for Welmu every time we do zero. Anyway, down here in the bottom left, playing for Team Millennium as the only Terran player left in the tournament. It's ForGG.
It's funny how, like, did you see my tweets? Like, about the regions and races? Like, in Korea, I think the Zergs did really well, even though Su lost in finals.
Yes.
In America, there is 4 Terrans out of 8 players in the top 8. And here, in Europe, we have 5 Protosses. So I kind of want to say that every region has their race, but then people will be like, Protoss won Korea.
And Protoss will still win America. That's what they'd say, but little do they know that Tasia's playing in that tournament, man.
And
all right,
Bolt,
so and Bolt too, yeah.
And they're in the same bracket.
I know, it's a good bracket over there. Welmu scouting inside his main base in case there were any proxy barracks that ForGG would like to try to win the game earlier with. But in fact, he is going to be taking a barracks on his front ramp here with a 15 gas coming into play, which by the looks of it should just about be scouted by this probe.
Nope. He's going to make a depot. Oh, is he not?
Yes, he is. Yes,
is he going to be on time?
Is dun 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 dun
dun. He has shifted it.
He's in.
That timing, man.
Yeah, that was close. That was. And he gets in, sees the gas. So sees the 15 gas being added on. What's the first thing you think that Welmu's going to think upon seeing that here?
Well, he knows he's going to be a CC reactor into factory.
Yeah.
But I think a smart thing to do here for ForGG is kill that probe and then go into double additional racks instead of a factory or something like that to really surprise after like the initial reactor.
Yeah.
Or maybe even a third CC. Like we've seen, I think it was Bomber do that before. Well, like he gets his gas scouted early on and then he stops mining gas, goes for a quick third CC.
Yeah, then you can have the double bluff though, where Welmu could think that could happen and hashtag mind games happen. But in fact, that ForGG's got the reactor coming in, he's got his command center and he's just following the build as he had planned originally here with still 3 SCVs in. The Nexus has been planted down here for Welmu, who immediately grabs a gas right behind that. And notice how he's not getting that Stalker. I guess upon seeing that his opponent sitting back a little bit here with this, no Reaper, no nothing like this.
He hasn't started warp yet. Okay, there we go. Scared me for a second. Always need to be careful with that, man.
Many Protoss players, they say they'll skip it for the first couple of moments to get that Mothership core, to get that Assimilate, to get that Stalker, but then they never get the warp gate research.
You know what's funny is that when we forget about the warp gate and then we still don't use the gateways to make units because we think that just doesn't work. You need to have warp gate to make units.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, Stalker is being made very standard. What is it going to be? A Robo, a Twilight, a Robo?
Okay. So
standard, very standard up until now. I would, if I was to guess now, I would say some kind of Colossus play, obviously with the quick Robo. With Welmu though, you never know if he's gonna be upgrading when and if he wants to all in or do some timing, which usually is very often. Okay, I'm gonna try to guess here. I'm gonna say he goes double forge with this, and then takes the third base.
Double forge, love me some double forge. We'll see if that is gonna happen though. Second gateway added in quite fast actually behind this to get those units out in case that, you know, as initially scouted, we could see some Marine Heli, Marine Widowmine, Medivac play. Get some supporting units out there. He does poke forward, sees a handful of Marines, and will do some dancing here. And gets a bit of damage onto these Marines. Always nice to get something done here, but obviously does not want to go lower than shields.
Interesting that he's gaining a sentry. He made a sentry behind his initial Stalker. Usually it will always be 2, maybe 3 Stalkers before warp gate finishes. So that's.
Is this like maybe a prediction on Hellions to think that he can use a force field to?
I don't think so. He just wanted to make the sentry to have some Guardian shield. So like wherever he fights, whether he's not photon overcharged, then he does fine. And in this case, I don't think it's good. I think Stalkers will be better. Then again, I mean, Welmu is very good versus Terran. He knows what he has to defend against now, so I think he's already planned this out very well. You see Photon Overcharge ready for the natural.
You'd imagine 2 Stalkers will come out now with these 2 gateways, right?
Yes. Robo Bay, by the way, but still no Twilight and no Forges. They should go down ASAP behind this if he was to go for those.
All right, so we have the 8 Marines on the right-hand side here in the Medivac, which is going to get spotted by an Observer hidden away. 4 Hellions, 6 Hellions on the left.
Oh, he has an Observer right next to that Medivac. He's not pulling back. Oh, he's going to use the Photon Overcharge in the main and use the natural.
Photon in the main, units on the natural. And that Robotics Bay can play a massive part in this game. And that's something to think about as backup to this. So he's going to use a Photon Overcharge. He's going to go for the Mothership Core anyway here. And he doesn't quite get it, but then we have the Hellions on the natural, which are being dealt with. Sentry goes down immediately. The Medivac is gone. The Marines are coming to the natural as well. And probes are being hunted here. So far, 8 have gone down. 9. And even more. This is a goal. A good couple hits on these probes at the back there. 14 in total. And then we see the units going down as well. And ForGG lands a big blow there. He gets the mothership core. He gets 15 workers and 2 stalkers and a sentry.
Yeah. This is why you don't get a sentry usually against Jan early on like this, because it's just not good at all. And getting cannons in middle lines too here really would have helped, because he knew that there could be this kind of drop.
Oh,
and look at what ForGG is doing.
Yeah, Tank Banshee. This son's crazy. You meant to switch the barracks with these structures.
Yeah.
You're not meant to build from them, ForGG. What are you doing?
And this is going to be spotted very quickly here by Welmu, so he can decide what to go into from there. And it looks like he wants to go into just regular Colossus with thermal lens. Remember, he hasn't made any Forge or any Twilight Council, so I think if he stays on pure gateway units plus these Colossi,
this is epic.
He's going to be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean...
That first timing, though, is going to be very strong. 27 army supply for ForGG, 18 for Welmu. He needs to catch up. He's going to start a Twilight Council. He's only on 2 gateways. You're supposed to be on 3 right now.
Yeah, 2 gateways, Colossus without thermal lance, tanks coming up there, waypointed Banshee... waypointed Vikings actually coming over. Marines waypointed over. And here we go. We have the first little skirmish gonna happen. The Banshee leading the charge.
Oh,
Scan
remember he lost
down.
the mothership core. I was assuming he had photon overcharge.
Oh,
this is a big deal.
Oh god, the tank's already getting damage onto the shields of the Colossus. The probes are coming off the line here, and Welmu's gonna make a stand against this, and the probes are just gonna get absolutely annihilated immediately here. The Banshee goes down, I think. Oh, I'm not sure. It's behind the Colossus there, and the Colossus not targeted down very fast. It is gonna die eventually. Marines left over. Welmu does a lot of damage dealing with this, but he's also lost almost every single probe on that natural, if not every single
the
probe.
Viking is going to take out the mothership core because he's not being targeted.
A couple
my
of
God.
Stalkers do get warped in. He's going to push the Marines back. Another Colossus. He needs... Oh, the bunker's complete, so the Marines actually get inside, and the Viking's going to go down.
Yes, he almost has thermal lens. Welmu needs to pull back and shoot this from out of range, but another Viking and another tank are going to make their way there.
Yeah, there's 4 Marines in that too, and the 1 Stalker almost dies, doesn't quite, but there is a tank, and that will shoot it down. Stalker low health, 2 Stalkers down immediately, and oh my gosh, this is absolutely unbelievable. 36 probes have been killed in this game, down to 27, and a lot of units as well as ForGG ramping on the pressure, and I think we can all say together quite confidently, Welmu wasn't expecting this type of game from ForGG here.
Yeah, definitely not. Even though the way he played it is supposed to be kind of good against this, the loss of that mothership core was so important, because then he forgot to remake it immediately and he didn't have photon charge. He feels compelled to attack, and I don't think he's going to be enough.
Oh, he's not killing that tank fast enough, unfortunately. There, it's dealing out a lot of damage at the back. A couple of SCVs tanking. A Banshee comes in. A couple of additional Stalkers are going to get warped in, but now there's 2 tanks. And there was 1 before that attack happened. You've got the old Classico stim and combat shields on the way, and things are getting out of hand a little bit here for Welmu. He's hurting in economy. He's hurting in, of course, the probe count and the unit count.
He's trying to squeeze out as many units as possible to try and hold this once and for all, but...
Yeah.
Why is he whopping Stalkers? I don't understand. You're supposed to get Zealots to really tank as much as possible for the Colossus to do the damage, but at this point ForGG just...
3 tanks, bunker, Banshee from the high ground on that left-hand side. He's going to try and break this, and these units are down incredibly fast here. The Banshee gets microed back as well. Another one appears, and ForGG, a fantastic, aggressive start. As he said in his interview, he likes the aggressive style and has done for many a year, and this is what he's bringing to the table today. 85 supplied at 57, and Welmu, who was definitely confident entering this series, has been hit with an attack which was not expected, and it has caught him by surprise, and a couple of classic mistakes as well at mothership core dying, and as you said, he's in a very, very, very difficult position.
Welmu did say he was going to win 3-1, and this is ForGG's map pick, so...
This is the one that he loses to win the next 3. We'll see if that's the case. Good pickoffs with the Banshees here. Great tank position on that left as well. Very, very painful for that tank to be there. Good control by ForGG as well. And there is a counter-attack by a Zealot and a Probe, surprisingly.
That's not going to do much. He's trying to evacuate.
Yeah. 3rd command center being spotted, and Combat Shield is done. Stim is seconds away, and he might as well evacuate that bunker and go, YOLO! Hit that T button, mate. Hit that Stim button and get these units dead. As the first Colossus is gone, he's charging the second one down. He doesn't give a damn anymore. ForGG with a great start. Good game called by Welmu. And Millennium's 4GG, the last remaining Terran, who is carrying the Terran Flame from MMA into this round of 8 after eliminating him in the round of 16. Has to do him proud, and every Terran out there as well. That's a good start.
He did say he likes the aggressive style from Brood War. What's the equivalent of that game in Brood War? Like 2 factories or like 3 factories and a push with like turrets and tanks and vultures?
Yeah, like any type of timing like that, I guess.
And in this case, Welmu, I feel like he pulled probes maybe a little bit too fast. Like those bunkers and those tanks, you know, they were pretty far away. He didn't have thermal lens yet. Like if he had completed photon overcharge, or like if he had regenerated energy for like another photon overcharge and then just shot from afar as much as he could with the Colossus, maybe he could have done a little bit better. But yeah, it's really that first mothership core that you lose that really puts you behind. And it's not the first time I've seen a Protoss suffer this loss and then lose the game behind this. And I feel like against guys like 4GG is super common just because they have those very aggressive builds that they like to open with.
Alright, well, a good start for him here. We'll see what happens next. And all of a sudden, Welmu probably entered this series with quite a convincing game plan for himself. Is now at well, do you think he rethinks it a little bit? Does the way that 4GG just played start to change Welmu's game plan that he could have built around coming into today? Or do you think he just sticks to what he's, you know, thought about coming into this already?
No, I think Welmu is definitely the type of guy to have like one plan per map and stick to it. Like here, he probably thinks or realizes that he made mistakes, just like losing that one mothership core, and he was probably able to identify very quickly what were the mistakes. So his focus should be towards trying not to repeat those mistakes or play better overall in the next game.
Well, the next map is Merry-Go-Round here. And this, of course, is not the most ideal Protoss map in the entire of the map pool here, but it is the second choice coming in. We'll see if Welmu wants to get this out of the way. Does he have something special planned for this? And I seem to lean towards the latter, but we'll find out as we are now loaded into map number 2. As we have up here to the top right, a player who, well, as his fans say, deserves a lot more in terms of results than he usually gets. The blue Terran, playing for Team Millennium, is 4GG. Is it time that he finally unleashes the beast inside to get a major title to his name? And down here in the bottom left, the last remaining non-Korean, the only European left in the tournament, as the red Protoss player playing for the Romanian team Neurosoft. It's Welmu.
You know, I thought for the longest time that NRS meant New Romanian Star.
New Romanian StarCraft. New Romanian strategies.
Okay, Apollo, how do you take a third base on this map as Protoss against Terran?
You don't. That's the plan.
Wow, you're so smart.
I answered like a Protoss player. I answered like a Protoss player. See that? You don't.
It's actually, it's possible, but very difficult. The thing is, Welmu knows that, and in the past I've seen him do a build. I think it was against Innovation at DreamHack. You probably casted that. And he went 2 base, Colossus Blink Stalker with 8 gateways, no Forge. No Forge. And it was crazy because he gets the robo super fast. You don't make as many observers as usual since you're not going to be playing defensively. And as soon as you have 3 Colossus, you're across at like 12 minutes, 13 minutes, you're across the map and you're attacking. It's so fast. Like there is not much Vikings. If Terran rushes a 3rd CC, a lot of the time you're going to die. And he opens double gas here actually. So no Gateway Nexus after just 1 gas. No Scout either. And he's up against a Command Center first.
I think we could be seeing some good old Blink play coming out from Welmu here. Or would you lean towards maybe a crazy DT or potential Stargate coming in? Where do you think he'll go with this?
Yeah, I would like to say Stargate, but with Welmu it feels less likely than with somebody else. So maybe some Blink play, maybe nothing. You see he's mining 2+1 right now.
Yeah, maybe just grab this Nexus down and then make a choice afterwards.
I'm a little bit surprised that he doesn't scout with this though, because on this map, gas first is super deadly if you don't see it coming.
Yeah.
Players like, especially players like Bunny, you know, they open a lot with this. And remember, Welmu said he practiced a lot with Bunny, so surely he must know some kind of a way to deal with a build order, or maybe he thinks that 4G wouldn't go for it. And yeah, he's just going to go for the standard Nexus quickly after his initial 2 gas.
All right, well, let's see what he uses that gas for. Right now, not much as the Mothership Core is on its way. He's going to go scout this right-hand side. But ForGG obviously opened up with a very good build if he's able to get away with this. And so far, there's nothing that Welmu has that can punish this. The Mothership Core could go to the main base, could tickle the SCV line for a second or so, but not really going to get much value from that. But here we're going to see some decisions going to be made, because Welmu's going to go up. He's going to see the command center down and finished already.
He knows.
And now what does he do?
Well, probably sticks to his game plan.
Yeah, he's probably planning it anyway, so we'll see. What are you going to do? Is coming up to 100
I think
gas.
Robo again, and just Colossus play.
Huh.
I expect Welmu to play almost every single game with basically Robo, Colossus, and then into Blink Stalkers, except maybe on one map, maybe on King Sejong Station, where he could do a similar Blink Stalker all-in to what he did in the previous round when he faced Yoda, with which he had a lot of success. I remember talking to him about that one build that he did with the Blink Stalkers, and I remember him telling me basically that he had never lost with it. Simple as that.
Why'd you open up double gas though instead of just regular one gas? I mean, what's the idea behind the double gas?
You have more opportunities to do something else if you want to, but also like if the Tian scouts you early, which he's supposed to,
right?
You're gonna basically keep him on his toes. Like the Tian's gonna have to be super careful, scout extra, which on this map is difficult. You cannot really get a Reaper in against a good Protoss.
So unfortunately, this didn't work out as ideal as it could have. But wow, that's a fast robotics bay coming in. It's right at the back there, hidden away.
I think this is gonna be the Colossus Blink without Forge, maybe. Could even be some kind of Colossus play without Blink.
Yeah, I mean...
And the next step will be Colossus play without Colossus.
Colossus play without Colossus. He's actually getting this to get the Warp Prism speed to go crazy! But yeah, this is really fast. So if you think about the regular Protoss players, come up to 3, sometimes 4 Stalkers to defend against stuff like this. Observers come out earlier, but this is a really rushed robotics bay. These units are coming down. They may...
This is...
catch Stalkers!
No, I mean... well moved.
Oh, he's going to catch the Stalkers! One, and he's going to try the other one. He's not going to get the other one, but he goes down with one. Uh-oh.
He needs to warp in a sentry back at home to make sure those don't go up the ramp.
Yeah,
but they don't have
does.
steam yet, so...
Photon Overcharge obviously is going to help out, but ForGG knows there's another Stalker out on the map that isn't back at home. First Colossus is on its way.
How many gates? 2 at first, at least. No Forges yet.
Yeah.
Oh, that poor Stalker. Don't do it. Don't do it.
You sneaky guy.
Oh, he's going to do it.
Sneaky. Gets
to the safe zone.
But still, I mean, as cool as that was for Welmu to, or not, cool as for ForGG to get that Stalker, the strategy's still intact. I mean, he wasn't really slowed down. The robotics base still very active right now. First Colossus is made. Second is going to be started. 3 gateways in total being added on currently.
Okay, so he's not going to make any Twilight. He's adding extra gateways. Yeah, this is going to be a 2 base. I'm guessing 7 or 8 gates. Now, ForGG, does he get the 3rd command center or does he start 2 additional barracks? If he starts 2 additional barracks now, I would say he's in a great shape to win against this.
Right.
If he starts a CC, he's going to be in trouble. And by the way, ForGG skipped entirely on an eBay.
He skipped it on eBay. He's also skipped on scans. So he's really rushed up to what he has right now at a good speed, faster than what regular Terrans have it. This is really, really well done by ForGG. Greedy to a certain degree, but...
Welmu is cutting corners himself, by the way. He has... Does he have any observer? He doesn't have a single observer, so he doesn't see this army headed towards him.
All right, he sees it outside the front now. He does just poke out, sees the units there. He's going to have to reveal his strategy sooner than he wants, but that means he's got to pounce immediately after this. He cannot give time for ForGG to react.
He sneaked a probe across the map, by the way.
Yeah, he's going to use that. And here's the Colossus, and it doesn't have thermal lance right now, so it's kind of right at the front of the battle here. And there's not too much in front of this either. The Colossus doing a lot of damage. ForGG spreads his units. The Colossus being alive is very important, and he does keep it alive just about there. I couldn't. The second one goes down. He keeps one of them. But to think that this is a rush strategy to lose one of the key components of a Colossus to then have the other one on almost 0 health to then be expecting to counter so rapidly.
But he killed a lot. He killed so much, actually. Like, in terms of army supply right now, we had 40 for Welmu, 34 for ForGG, but 7 gates against 3 barracks. So Welmu is going to completely outproduce ForGG for the next minutes or two. And then I think his timing is going to be so damn strong.
Colossus in the middle. Colossus in the middle. If he just turns around and stims, he can kill the Colossus. He gets one of them straight away. He's going to rush towards the other one. And Welmu just caught on the aggressive path out here. And is this last Marauder going to get it? And he does. One hero Marauder picks up that Colossus. And now the real power punch of this is gone. But the fact still remains, as you said, there's a lot of gateways here. Bunkers are on the way. More units are coming out. He's going to probably have to use some SCVs here.
One Colossus is on the way. He has one Guardian Shield available. Welmu needs to wait for more units. That was a very high-pitched voice, by the way.
This game is absolutely insane right now. Welmu just gifting those Colossus in the center. And remember that he's currently, trailing one game. And ForGG's about to pounce on the other side of that. The Mothership Core's caught out in the open here, and it's a slow-ass unit. And ForGG's going to, follow this here. He can even pick up units to drop on the Colossus. He has multiple options currently, and he's chasing this down.
Laser.
And the SCVs do go back, but still, this has given ForGG more than enough time to start his 4th and 5th barracks. He's got +1 on the way now. He's got a lot of units. And no Forge or anything from Welmu before.
He's going into a Twilight. I wonder if this is for Blink. I don't think he can go into Storm here almost ever, because he needs to keep on making more Stalkers and Colossus. So I think he's going to be Blink, and he's going to transition from his all-in into another all-in.
All right, Protoss, 2 base forever.
We do with what we have, Sean.
Yeah, that's definitely one way to put it. Factory goes down. And stim forward. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh god. That Colossus just died immediately. That's not good.
Stalkers are taking forever to rejoin the rest of the army. He was preparing for a drop.
Yeah, he's preparing for a drop. I mean, there's a lot of gateway units here, but losing that Colossus.
They're blocking.
Another one is here and all, but ForGG is going to push back for now. But I'm quite surprised that ForGG is very reluctant on actually starting his Viking production. He's got a lot of medivacs, only just now really starting them. But still, no Forge, remember. So you got +1 attack coming in, you got +1 armor starting now. And a Templar Archives thrown in here.
Oh, he gets charged in the Templar Archive. So the transition is happening on 2 bases. I did not expect this. Maybe because he lost that last Colossus, like in the last fight, like he lost that one Colossus. He's like, I'm tired of trying to make Colossus. You keep on sniping them. So I'm just going to go for Charge Lot and Templars.
I guess that works, especially if ForGG is going to start to his Viking production now, which he is, so that kind of plays into Welmu's favor a little bit. But we'll see where this is going to go. Yeah. Welmu's got...
Actually, the factory was sniped. The factory was sent to the main of Welmu. It was sniped, and now I guess ForGG wanted to make a second starport. He couldn't, and he's like, I'm just going to remake my factory so I can make sure that I can get it.
I guess that's not a big problem because he's got 7 medivacs out already. I mean, he only needs to really focus on Vikings, if anything, right?
Oh, I guess he wants to get the armory as well for the upgrades.
Yeah.
I really like the 3 additional barracks, by the way. For ForGG's, his macro is going to completely explode out of control.
Welmu, it's time to start to think about how you're gonna tackle this this player here. You've got no upgrades in terms of +1 attack, +1 armor. Storm's on its way. 3rd Nexus starts, but I think that's going to get cancelled pretty much straight away here, unfortunately.
Poor Welmu.
Even before ForGG gets there.
Welmu has no map presence already, and then the one observer that he makes gets sniped instantly. It's like a lost cause.
If this Warp Prism, starts to get some work done, if he lands the right storms, there's still a way. There's still a good way to take a couple of good fights to get back into this.
You think he's going to go for Templars? I think Zealots for dropping. The thing is...
Yeah, Zealots in the drop. But,
if you look at how many barracks there are, like for ForGG, it should be pretty easy to defend with whatever's coming out of the Zerax. Unless he sees it very late. And right now, actually, he's not seeing it, this swapping.
Yeah, so 4 Zealots go in, and he does see it.
They know.
The Vikings are coming and land and help out here. And as Welmu's attempt here to equalize this series, or at least start the pathway to equalizing this series, is starting, but he's still in a very sticky situation.
Welmu had a lot of gas. Look at how many Templars he made. ForGG has no idea.
He's been chucking all his minerals into these Zealots. It's a lot of Zealots.
This is crazy. I cannot believe he transitioned so well into Templars from where he was. It's a
lot of Storm, man.
Yeah.
It's a lot of... Oh, he sees it too. Oh, no, he doesn't see the high tempo, actually. Well played. Well pulled back there right before they got in the scan range. Really nice from Welmu. And as good as a position that ForGG's been in for the majority of this, he's about to pull his SCVs into storms. If these storms land, and he's coming from the right-hand side, Welmu, and he gets 1, 2 really good storms into that. Now he's going to push forward, and ForGG's like, oh my god, where the hell did this come from? There's still a lot of terror in here. Another storm lands. He's got to hit some more good storms, though, before this is over. Those two not as good.
I don't think that the storms were good enough.
Yeah.
4G kept pulling back. The second storm hit the Zealots.
And the Colossus gone, not too much power left over. It was a good little trick, a good little surprise there from Welmu, but look at that. Too much terror left over, and Welmu is going to go down 2-0 in quite fast fashion here, unfortunately. A good attempt from him in that fight, and a decent start, but as we can see, ForGG, who's maintained a lead for the majority of this, is about to close this map up and take merry-go-round for his own.
Recall.
Every last unit is needed, must survive. And Welmu, half the supply of ForGG. And he's going to catch a couple of these workers. There's a couple of storms left, I think. Maybe no, not even a couple, maybe one. Maybe two
he's
if
trying
you're
to get
lucky.
enough energy. 4G is not going to give him the time.
Yeah, he's got a couple more storms, but ForGG backs off again. He didn't really lose, you know, that much in that previous fight, and he's still in a very good position here. Forcing Welmu to come down. Remember, Welmu's running out of money inside his main base, so he needs his third. He needs to mine from that, but it is destroyed. And 4GG, and they spread his units outside here. Dodge those storms. You dodge those storms, you're going to get this win, my son. And this is looking really good. And unfortunately for Welmu, a couple of schoolboy errors lead to a 0-2, and 4GG's up 2-0 already today. And is looking great, and Welmu, as confident as he was coming into this, now has to win 3 games in a row.
4G plays really well, but he's very predictable. I feel like players don't try and counter him well enough. Like, for example, he always takes to Ghost way too late, like very, very late. He tries to finish the game before that. So what Welmu did here with the timing played right into 4GG's hand, because he had more army supply, just had to get a good split in the middle of the map, and then he won that fight. And after that, you cannot really recover. The ideal scenario here and way that Welmu could have played this is if he had waited a lot up until Ghosts are finally in production. And if they never come, then you just wait until you maxed out and you have like 15 Templars with full energy, because if you don't have Ghosts, how are you going to deal with that? But now, Welmu was just assuming that there was the possibility that there could be Ghosts, so he had to go for a timing before there is Ghosts, because then that many Templars become so much weaker. So 4G is playing with the fact that you have to attack, or you feel like you have to attack in this matchup, and with the lack of information that you're going to have, like sniping the Observer was a really big deal. Welmu had to play without information for the entire game.
I mean, throughout all the other different seasons we've had here, you've had a lot of time to talk with Welmu, usually about how he's planning, thinking about the series, or how he felt afterwards. What do you think's going through that mind right now? 2-0 down already.
I mean, Welmu, whenever he loses, like he's always the same. Before a match, he's always super confident. He says that he's going to win, and then whenever he loses, he's like, "Oh, I played really bad." So I think right now he just knows that he played this bad, and that's an overstatement. I'm trying to say what is. I'm not saying myself that he played bad. He made mistakes, but I do think that he played pretty well. I love the Templar transition. It's just the timing that wasn't good. So I think he should be able to refocus and just stick to his plan. Again, like in the previous game, one different decision and he could have won.
All right, well, 2 ways for this to go. We either see a Terran advance on, or we see the only non-Korean advance on. Which will it be? 2 players equally ranked, 23-24. Head-to-head, game number 3. This can be a 3-0, or Welmu could start the comeback. As up here to the top right of Altazim's stronghold is that very player, is the red Protoss. It's Welmu. And we'll see what he can do in this next game on Altazim. He needs to pull it back. He needs to get things back in shape, back in order. Otherwise, this player down in the bottom left-hand side as the blue Terran 4GG will be able to make a one-sided 3-0 victory.
If either of them wins this tournament, they break into the top 16 of WCS World Ranking, so they will be in a good position to possibly qualify for the global finals. But keep in mind, a lot of points are going to be given away as well in the American region, which is going to be played later today.
Yeah, definitely make sure to watch that later on if you're a late night sleeper. Gas first on a big map here, which if I was Welmu and I was playing 4GG, or if somebody asked me, what do you think 4GG is going to do on Altazim Stronghold? I would usually answer CC first pretty much every single time. He's that type of player. But it's Gas first against Nexus first here from Welmu.
Yeah, this is not looking good or nice at all here for Welmu. He needs to get lucky from there. He needs to maybe go for a scout now, see what his opponent's up to, and maybe... Well, I don't think it's going to matter where 4GG scouts, like no matter what, he's going to know on time where to go.
Yeah.
And I've seen actually good defenses in this situation, but it's just one mistake and you're done. And Welmu cannot afford to make any mistakes here. He's down 2 games.
Well, which way is this probe going to scout? This is quite important.
Clockwise.
Left.
It's funny, you know, I asked Welmu earlier, do you scout clockwise or counterclockwise? And he said, you have to change all the time because otherwise you become predictable.
Well, he's going to scout down this way, and he is going to scout out 4GG early, which is an added benefit where he won't get surprised as fast, or should I say later on. And you don't need to panic when you see, like, oh God, this is happening, this is happening. He's like, okay, this is going to happen very soon. I can take my time. I can get ready for it. Hopefully that gives him the right composure to be able to attempt this defense, as you said. Nothing's really changed with Welmu's build. It's the fact that he knows this is coming, and he knows that that one critical mistake cannot be made on his behalf.
On this map, having the wall off that Welmu's gone for behind his middle line with the gateway and cybernetic score, I feel like he's really going to help against Hellions as well. It's going to be harder for them to really get in there, do a lot of damage. If Welmu is well placed, which since he knows right now what he's up against, he's really going to help. I like the starports at the natural here. For 4GG, I think he knew that Welmu will pull out very, very soon with his probe. So Welmu wasn't able to confirm. Actually, the barracks and the factory wasn't swapped. So he's going to make Hellions 1 by 1 a lot of Marines.
Probe is hiding here just around the 3rd base of 4GG, probably in hope to go in again to maybe get some further information on what is going on here. But we see a chrono boosted out Stalker.
He's going to get 3.
Facility.
He's going to get 3 in a row this time for sure. He's not going to make the same mistakes as on Overgrowth with the Sentry.
Well, Hellion pokes in, sees the chrono boosted gateway there, so if you can kind of tell that he's going to be building 3 Stalkers from that, most likely so can 4GG. So we'll see where this goes from here. The Medivac is halfway from being complete. And we'll see what's going to happen from this. Is it going to be successful? If it isn't, then Welmu's going to find himself in beautiful position. If you think about the probe count right now, 27 to 19, if he's able to keep that similar, and of course continue to push himself further away, brilliant. Oh, look at that, an armory. You're joking. An armory.
It's time for some Hellbats.
Time for some Hellbats, man.
I would like to see Thors maybe too.
Yeah, just a random Thor drop comes in, starts like a couple of shotting these Stalkers. It's like, what? No way.
I like the double additional gateway here by Welmu, and I really like that he hasn't saturated his natural and that he's cut pro production.
Yeah.
He's reacting perfectly to this so far. Yeah, you see like that Medivac dropping in natural. Like, what is he going to do? What is there to kill? Good luck killing that Nexus. See you in 5 minutes.
Photon Overcharge is ready. 3 Stalkers ready. Immortal on the way.
It's funny that Welmu has a probe on the map. He's going to go maybe for a scout in the main. He's proxying a pylon, so no, he wants to counterattack with those 3 gateways. He wants to warp in a lot of Stalkers across the map.
All right, three Hellions go in. Photon Overcharge activated. 1 Hellion dead immediately. There's still those Marines on the left-hand side that are doing damage towards this Nexus. They do swing around, and they've got, excuse me, rid of the shields. And focusing down one of the Stalkers.
Yeah, those Hellions down the ramp are waiting for the Photon Overcharge to expire. Actually, Welmu has to be careful. He's focusing too much on these Marines. He should let his natural die. He's going to go for the Medivac. The Hellions are going to go into the main soon. There is so many of them. The barbecue is happening, man.
Uh-oh. Armory's completed back at home. Something just to keep at the back of your mind here. There it is. Transformation of the Hellions.
Oh, wow, he could have actually sent that as the units were the natural here for Welmu. Actually, oh, is he going to miss him?
He sees
What's
this.
happening?
He's going to come around from the back here, and these Hellbats are here to play, and they're going to get some big damage down, and they do a lot there. The shield's immediately gone on 2 of those Stalkers. The other one's been targeted down here by 4GG, transforms the last 2 Hellions, and he's chasing us down. There is no Photon Overcharge. He has to fight. The Immortal shields are gone, and look at this. 4GG's just hunting this down, and this could be the 3-0 that he was wanting. Probes! Probes are the last things you want against Hellbats. They die immediately, and oh my god, the Immortal's going to go down here, and That is the real power unit here. And then with more Hellions streaming in, is this the way that Welmu is eliminated by ForGG in a swift, prepared, decisive, and well-constructed set of build orders and strategies? All 3 games from ForGG, and he looks in fine shape right now. Picks up 2 of the Hellbats in this medevac, and he's going to drop them on the pros. Welmu's down to 22 supply, and it looks like we are going to see a Terran move on to the top 4, and ForGG's time to shine. It's been a long time since he got this deep in a tournament, or at least in WCS. It is happening again, and Welmu is suffering. 13 supply, minimal units left. 2 probes to 17 SCVs left over. That just tells the story of it all, as Welmu has got rid of all and everything inside his main and natural, but 3 probes to 18 and mules. And he's just losing unit by unit, and this is a very sad way to go out. These Hellions are going to go chase down those few remaining probes, and ForGG is, retreating back as Welmu marches to the other side of the map. There's the last probe. See you later. No mining, no income, nada. Welmu has nothing, and as we can see, ForGG can build a bunker, can close the supply depot wall, and sit behind his pretty supply depot placements, and look at a victory in a 3-0 this shall be. An awesome game from ForGG, and he lets the Stalkers in, but to be honest, what does it even matter anymore? GG, well played ForGG, 3-0, top 4. He came in prepared, and he showed it. A Terran advances on, which we don't see very often in WCS Europe, and ForGG holding that Terran flame well, representing MMA after eliminating him in the previous round, said that he would be that Terran player. Well done for him, but a sad story for Welmu, who joins Vortex eliminated top 8 today.
Who does this build reminded you of?
This build?
Yeah.
Innovation.
Like Hellions.
I don't know.
Hellbats like this, and just like Hellions at first, Daishi kind of.
Yeah, I suppose.
We've seen Daishi do a bunch of builds like this and be very successful with them. So being teammates here, maybe there was some talks involved, but pretty cool build. I didn't expect he would do that well. I feel like Welmu could have handled this a lot better, but again, we see everything. The information that Welmu had was that there was a factory opener and then medivacs being made, but usually, again, you have to assume, you have to take chances in StarCraft, and I think he knew there was probably a CC on the way, but in this case, there wasn't.
Yeah, I can't help but feel this series, it felt like Welmu prepared for a different player that showed up today. I think that's kind of the best way to describe it, because Welmu was prepared, but not for that guy who actually was up on that stage today. And that guy who was up on the stage is now ready for his post-match interview.
Thank you, guys, with ForGG. Congratulations, a really big win over Welmu. When you drew Welmu, were you happy or not?
So because I don't think I will lose today because really high winner rate in before practice time. So I really too much confident today.
Okay, who have you been playing with to train for this?
Many players practice me patience and Rilbo, Wicked Mana, and especially Hearthstone is very help me.
Really? Well, so hang on. So Europeans have been helping you beat a European?
Oh yeah, they won, I won. I don't know.
This doesn't sound fair to me. I'm happy though, because I'm a Terran and you're a Terran and you're the last one in. So I'm happy that you've gone through. So that's good. What has changed for you in the last year? Because we saw you last year, round of 4, really strong, really good. But since then, not so good.
Yeah, first time after I have a really good condition, but I have visa problem. So WCS season 2 I dropped after I suddenly hard to win WCS. But now I'm again round of 4 and I really very good condition. So I can go final.
Well, best of luck and thank you very much. ForGG, the last remaining Terran hope, lives on for another game. He will be back tomorrow and will feature in the semi-final. Who will he play? We'll find out next as our final game of the day. Amazingly, it's been such a fast day here at WCS Europe. We'll find out in our last PvP who becomes the 4th and final member of the semi-final club.